How do we get up to her?
The stairs over there.
Our host is muted right now. The run is already going.
There we go. Welcome everybody to It Takes Two. My name is Papa Jan, one of the runners in this community, and my host opposite me, or my commentator opposite me, I should say, is one of our lovely mods, the Almighty Ironhead.
Good morning.
Night, depending on where you're at.
That's true. We're gonna be commentating It Takes Two. There's a lot of. Oh, we're starting over.
Quite possibly. Yeah. Just got to work out the few kinks at the beginning of all this. But no, it looked like they actually got it their first try. One of the very first tricks in the game that was discovered fairly recently in the grand scheme of things, where they pick up one of the fuses that comes out of the master area there, and they drop it and pause at the exact same time and then reset from checkpoint, which causes some, I believe they were calling it an item state glitch.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was very interesting the way it all worked out in the end. So what they are able to do is they're able to make it so that the fuse can be put in multiple slots on the actual main relay there, so that they can get through that area quicker, as opposed to having to go and hunt down all the rest of them.
Yeah, normally you have an entire tutorial level right there, which we're just skipping. I'm not sure what's going on. We're going.
It might have been an issue with the timer. We'll see.
All right. Oh, they continue. Okay, that's so we skipped the first level right there, and in this level normally you have to climb the entire level, and end up at a vacuum boss fight. But we're instantly going out of bounds, which they both get very quick, so that's very good. And now we're gonna climb this giant wall. It's gonna be a bit dark, and we're gonna see a slide jumps, which are just jumps that you initiate by running or dashing, and then you just slide on the ground. And if you jump out of that, you get massive height and distance, and that jump really breaks this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of areas that aren't even out of bounds, they're just inbounds, but you can access them or just access certain parts of areas before you should have been able to, because you're able to get so much extra height using the slide jump. Because in this game, you have a double jump and you have your dash. When you leave the ground, you can jump again for your double jump, and then you can dash as well while you're in the air to get momentum and carry it through. If you do a slide jump, you still get that double jump and that dash while you're in the air.
Yeah, and also
go ahead.
A big thing in this game as well is the different kind of checkpoints that we have. So there are a lot of checkpoints that only one person has to hit. So they're just racing to get to the same checkpoint, and they don't care about who gets it first, as long as somebody gets it real quick.
Mm-hmm. So here's one of our first boss fights in the game here, the vacuum tower boss. Casually, when you play through this, you'd probably take a good 3 or 4 cycles to get them all, but if you know the layouts of this, like we saw there, if you lay out all the cans in a specific line, then you're able to just get this boss in 2 cycles and avoid some of the more annoying parts of fighting him later on, because he has a few interesting attacks later on.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to do it this way if you don't get to see the final phases.
Yeah, so they did really, really well there to line up all the cans and be able to get to this part super quick. Now all it is left to do is just
suck his eyes out.
Yeah, a little bit morbid, but it is what it is.
Yeah, this is pretty much the first part where you think this is a children's game, but you're starting to doubt yourself. How family friendly it actually is.
And we're going to see a few more parts of that later on. Just you wait. So welcome to the depths. There's multiple ways to do this, as you'll find throughout the entire game. There's a few different layers of strats that people can do. Some are more safer than others, and some are fairly equal, just very different routes. And this section is no no exception. There's multiple ways to get to the end, which I think is a really cool part about this game.
Yeah, and so
All just
normally
about
the
hunting those
level,
checkpoints.
this is the part where you get your first power-ups. So in this game, pretty much every chapter has their own gimmick. In this level, it's the nail and the hammer, which they get here. Normally you have a lot of co-op puzzles, which makes this game actually fun, but we're just skipping that, getting to a loading zone at the end. And right here we're doing the boss fight. It looks really weird, because we're just shooting in the air. But behind there is actually an invisible version of the toolbox, which we can hit through the wall, like that.
One of the beauties of this game is that a lot of stuff is just spawned in at the beginning of levels, or if you get enough checkpoints, then things will spawn in and you can then interact with them or get certain clips through terrain or areas like that, and that boss is no exception. So now we're in the last section of Shed already. It's called Wired Up, and the whole goal here is to get to the very end so that you can get out the window here and continue making your way, because story-wise, May and Cody have been turned into dolls because their daughter Rose got very sad because Cody and May are always fighting when they're getting a divorce, and now they're trying to escape the shed and get back to Rose because they think that's how they'll be able to get through all this. But so much happens so quickly in this game. Bam doing very well.
Very clean wall clip right there. The way that he wall clipped is by looking at a rail and then looking to the wall, and there's a rail behind the wall as well. And the prompt of like activating the rail just stays there, and he just gets the clip through.
Don't worry about it. The rope
It was recently discovered as well in Tree, which is this section here. There's another one of those where you can look at one area, quick look to another area, and you can clip through a wall grabbing onto those railings.
she's outgrown them anyway.
I should remind here that because we're looking at the screen here with all the layouts going on SpeedGamesLive, Bamford is playing Cody, the character on the right side of your screen, and LP3 is playing May, the character on the left side.
Hey man,
Yep.
with a rope.
Oh, he's gonna throw the paper airplane. BM.
This is actually one of the stages that'll show up on our 1v1 race tournaments, because it's basically you just do exactly what you saw there, but the first person to get to that handle that you pull down to get to the next section wins the race.
And okay, so the next chapter is gonna have a massive out of bounds, and it's gonna be dark, because the entirety of Tree is just like in a cave, or in the tree, I guess, but it's just all packed in, so there's no outside light or anything. So once we get out of bounds, it's gonna be really dark. We'll get there in a bit.
If they do what I saw them do earlier today in their practice, it's going to be really interesting. They're going to use the momentum of some of these platforms raising here to get out of bounds here as one of their ways of doing it.
Yeah,
Let's see if Bam goes for it here. Indeed they are. So he's going to let it drop, shoot it up, and then he's going to jump. It's going to boost him up.
Got it. First try.
Nice. Well done, Bam and LP.
So yeah, it's just pure black out here. It's gonna be a lot of muscle memory and a couple of visual cues, but yeah.
Good job to LP3 there to be able to die out of bounds and reset there, fortunately. The nice thing about these out of bounds sections and how dark they are is that both of the characters' powers right now feature abilities to create light, with Cody's glowing sap and May's burning matchstick gun.
Yeah, but they rarely need it. They know where to go. And he's back in bounds. And so we're 2 seconds back in bounds, and then we're instantly going to go back out of bounds.
That is the name of the game, Iron. This is the Oop category. I love it. There's various different ways. In the any percent category, this area ends up having something called Wasp Skip in it, which allows there to use a minigame warp, which is basically the only difference between Oob and any percent. It's the ability to unlock a minigame by getting to it out of bounds quickly and then warping to it, so you can skip parts of the game. But as this is the Oob category, those tricks are banned, and so they're just using some more creative ways to get through some of these sections of the game.
Yeah, very good climb so far for Bam. LP3 already catching up as well. And we're going into the darkness again.
Which is weird because you see so much light in this area too. How can it be so dark? But never fear. A lot of these areas that may seem a little bit intimidating with all their darkness, once you've run through it a couple of times, either with somebody showing you or just by kind of getting a feel for it and watching it, it is fairly forgiving on how you can get through it all.
Yeah. And then this is the final bit of this stage, where we're trying to open this vault door. Where you have to turn it twice and then kill a mini-boss. And it's all just based on weight. So the intended way is to shoot sap from Cody's gun onto the levers. But, I mean, Cody can stand on them as well. And that way you can just do the entire thing by himself.
Pika in chat there was asking about an Oob Wasp Skip. I'm more familiar with the 80% category of the game, but obviously I'm here.
No, I think the reason they don't go for it is because of the difference between like the placement of LP3 and BAM after the first out of bounds. There was quite a gap. So I think that's the reason that they didn't go for it.
As you can see here with this fight, and you'll see with a lot of the fights throughout the game, there's usually a lot of ways that you can cheese the positioning of bosses and just being able to be in the corners and get them to run into terrains where they can't actually really do much damage to you. But to finish my thought there, I think I might have cut out there was, yeah, I'm here doing a solid for these guys. It's always a pleasure to be a part of this community, and being able to be here and commentate for them is really a joy in showing off this game. So
yeah, and right now they're doing one of the hardest tricks in the game. They're trying to get on top of the arch. Oh,
very close for LP3 there.
Oh, and Bam got it. So that's very difficult. The way this game handles slopes is very interesting, because if you slide from a slope, you can get some massive speed and do what we call in an oyster, where you just launch yourself. Bam, falling down? No, he saves it.
You can thank Who is Hyper for the naming of the oyster. To quote him from earlier today, it was just a random outburst that he had when he first got one early on in running this game. And usually those oysters can be used to crack a lot of areas wide open, as well as to do what's called a chain slide as well, which you'll see in some of the chapters later on in the game, where you can carry that momentum. And here's another example of just getting to certain parts of the game and getting those checkpoints and resetting to set yourself up in a new area and skip parts of the game.
Yeah, but just that spot, just that skip that they just did, saves a couple minutes. It's normally you have an entire autoscroller and stuff, which we're just skipping this way. Talking about autoscrollers, this is a pretty big one, where we're just on this ship and there's not much going on. So if at this point our host is... Do you have any announcements?
Not really at this moment. Just check out the schedule for the SpeedGaming events, because there's a lot of exciting things happening this time.
Good to hear.
Wonderful, thank you very much. Yeah, no, there's definitely, as it seems to be an auto-scroller in this area, there is a few minor optimizations that you can do as you go along. Obviously, you have to be wary of those larvae that are floating in the water, because if they do enough damage to your shield, the shield can break and you will end up in the water. And that will lose you time, but essentially here you can just ride along the left side of the wall to skip all of the larvae that come flying out of the waterfall there. Coming up, we'll have our first gate here that whoever's playing may can attempt to snipe the target from afar. I think the second one has a little crack in the wood that you can shoot through for some crazy angles, but as you see, a good shot from LP3 there, and we continue on.
Yeah, in stuff like this, where nothing really is happening, you really have to make use of the tiny optimization. Stuff like that is only gonna save a second, but it does add up.
Yeah, we definitely work hard to try and find ways to get through stuff like this. There's actually a bounty out right now for some of the longer auto-scrollers and boss fights in this game to find skips for them. As well, we should note that there is a bounty out for the entire game itself right now. It takes a bounty right now for the any % category of the game until the end of this year. There is, I believe it's up to $400 US for the fastest time outside of the current top 4 runners of the game to be made by the end of the year. So if you're interested in picking up a new cooperative speed game with you and a friend, be sure to come give It Takes Two a try.
Okay, so right here they're trying to dodge all these tornadoes, and the first few are just on a cycle, but the last couple are actually gonna home to the boat, so they will have to try to dodge those because they will be coming for them. See if they manage to.
A nice thing about this game too with the reset checkpoints is that a lot of them are cycle based, and so if you reset from checkpoint, then a lot of things that happen in this game you can get good cycles on them. An example of that later on in the game will be fast ropes for sure, where if you hit everything just right within the global cycle, then you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
What's your favorite skip that's no longer in an optimized run, asks Cam in chat. Ooh. Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, Paint Can Skip will forever live on in memoriam as the first skip that was ever found in this game, but that item duplication strat at the beginning of the game where Cody was able to place the fuses in multiple areas negated that. Do you have any one that jumps to mind, Iron?
Gonna have a think. So, at the end of 3, there is the Mortal Kombat section against the squirrel. It's not a skip. It's not a skip because normally we would just do the fight as normal. But we have found a way to skip the fight, and I am kind of sad about that.
That is pretty good. This game does really well to include, I should say, multiple different styles of games within it. There's like an ARPG, there's a 2D fighter, there's all sorts of different things and odes to different games throughout time.
Yeah. Mostly in the end, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as we saw here, again, more checkpoint gathering. They're going through, shooting those lanterns and able to move forward. When they were going past the jellyfish, they were able to shoot one off in the distance and get forward. Now they're going to jump into these blue mist entities. Oh, the fireflies? Is that what they are?
Fireflies. According to the code, they're fireflies.
Okay. We trust the almighty code. Now these can be a little bit unforgiving if you go a little bit too early. Oh, well done there. They got there just as the next one spawned in. They're going to try and get to the right here. Okay, there you go. Because sometimes the LP3 got it. Fantastic.
Yeah. So you fall very slowly if you touch those fireflies, and so they try to land in the tunnel so they can ground pound, because you cannot ground pound while falling normally.
And here's another auto scroller really as we fly on this spectral fish throughout the base of the tree here. So again, if there's any extra announcements or anything to be made, then this is another fantastic opportunity for them. Or if chat has any more questions about the game, feel free and we'll do our best to answer them.
Yeah, I could just say that some of the later events about Primal also is an incentive for Saturday 9:53 AM Eastern Time for Primal Lights. Switch to low recollect. And also there's going to be a Mario Kart character bit war later. So look over at the side and give a good donation.
Wonderful, thank you.
we are actually gonna see a Mario Kart homage as well in this game.
Oh, that's gonna be exciting to see later on too. Now, this game actually, casually as well as speedrunning, is both very fun. There is so many interesting parts to this game, and such a well put together game from front to end. The story is good, the mechanics are good, and the mini games throughout it are so much fun as well too. So.
Damn you, Cody! This isn't my fault!
And I believe this is going to be Beetle Fight?
No, not yet.
Oh no, not quite yet. So really the only tech that comes through this section here is if you grab onto these rails and you jump off, there is a way that you can keep your momentum of sliding on the rail and almost kind of do some chain slides.
That looks like an elevator.
Yeah, the best way to do those rails is by dashing on them and then jumping off at the at the correct timing, and then you can get massive amount of speed.
All they're going to do is see more of those fireflies, jump across to this platform, and then raise up to what will eventually be Beetle Fight.
Only one way out.
You're not doing the safe spot.
In a lot of boss fights or mini bosses or things like this in the game, there are actually, I think LP3 thought he might have been in one. Oh no.
No.
He's just jumping, okay. Because they're in the bottom left hand of this circle, there is a safe spot that you can stand in where you can just AFK and none of these bees can hit you. And it is quite entertaining, some of the spots. There was a fun spot exactly like that in the toolbox fight back in Shed that has since become obsolete. I'd honestly say, actually, now that I think about it, that may be one of my favorite skips now that I think about it, to answer Cam's question, is the old toolbox fight. Before we found a way to kill him invisibly through the wall with the nails.
Yeah, we had a lot of iterations of that.
I can see it. Let's clean up these scraps.
Now all that's going to happen here is just quickly mop up these wasps and continue on.
Yeah, we never really explained what the mechanic of this level is. So they both get a gun, and they really work together. So Cody is able to spray the goop on stuff. So right now he's filling that hole, and then May is able to explode it with her matchsticks.
We'll see if they go for fast beetle fight here. Okay.
Maybe they could still have it.
They could.
Oh no, the
definitely still have
beetle
it
is
here.
the beetle is away from it.
So what can sometimes happen there is if after you blow up that second one and you head on over and you cram right up against the beetle, you can cause him to do a glitchy animation where he'll just stay over top of that area, and you'll be able to get one less cycle of him jumping to another thing, but still nonetheless a extremely clean beetle fight there. No mistakes made as they head back into the next auto scroller here.
Yeah, it's kind of rough with the auto scrollers because right now we're getting like 5 of them back to back, and then after this we're gonna get an hour of no auto scrollers at all. So
Tree is very notorious in that regard, but all things considered, there is still a few optimizations you can do in this one. In this one, you can spam the jumps and spread them out as Bam is doing, steering the beetle here, and that does move you a little bit faster through this course. And so Bam will be controlling Cody, who steers the beetle, and then LP3's job here is to shoot the larvae to clear the way so that they can continue on and not take enough damage. Imagine running Tree. Pika, you've spent so much hard work in this area, especially working on the best theoretical time for this. So a huge shout out to Pika, who's in chat right now, who's a stalwart tree runner and just a runner of the game in general with Rubsab, and working on the best theoretical time right now for the game. I have 1,000 tree attempts. Holy moly. Yeah, we very much appreciate your work, Pika, and trying to figure out what the best time is that we can humanly run this game at someday.
alright, all the scrollers are over, and we're straight into another boss fight. So this boss fight, we have to destroy the mechanical queen bee, wasp queen, I guess. She has 4 spots where you can damage them. They're indicated with the red cross. and they each have their own health, so they're trying to damage both the bottom and the top fronts. Right, they destroy the bottom, because after each body part is destroyed, they get an like an intermission kind of phase.
Somebody say intermission.
Intermission.
Oh, it's there's an emote that comes from a previous race commentary that Ironhead did, where he ended up pausing in a very peculiar face, and there was a screenshot, and it was a fun time.
But
so now we head
in the first phase, they're trying to damage both the top and the bottom in order to make the final phases a bit quicker, because the queen is gonna spawn more shields, so it's quicker to take longer in the first phase, so that those final phases will be easier to do.
And so all they gotta do is avoid all of these bee bombs here and head on through, and then eventually they'll be back to fighting more of the Wasp Queen. So now, yes, in this next section here, they're again going to work to try and damage the top pieces. And eventually, once they're able to strip enough of the Queen's armor away, we'll get into the final section where they just have to try and cut the giant cable or chain that's holding the Wasp Queen up here. I will actually note that my gamer tag is actually Papa Jan, for anybody that is curious or does know me from commentating through this. I think my Discord name got screwed up through this, but yeah. Another one of these sections here that's just kind of, again, wandering around, avoiding these scissors as it was with the bee bombs. There actually is another safe spot in this fight up in the top right that you can get to, where you can just kind of relax and get to the end, and off we are again, fighting the Wasp Queen.
Could be almost done. One more. There we are.
Oh, well done so far on this fight to these runners as well too. There's a few difficult spots too where those hands are slapping down that can cause some irritations. So now these railings go all the way around the Wasp Queen, so what they're going to do is they're going to do well to avoid these swords that are going along, and they're just going to keep spraying the sap onto the chain and shooting it to do the damage. And eventually, with one more hit here... Oh, LP3 takes one of the swords. That's okay, though. One more shot and should do it for the... Yep. There we go.
Yeah, it's very clean that they got that in the first cycle, because after a while, if you take too long to kill her, she will spawn shields again, and you will have to take like half a minute to destroy all the shields and then finish the job.
And here comes Getaway, the final subchapter of Tree. Feels fairly auto-scrolly again, like Tree is full of them, but this section in general still does feature some mechanics you did to be wary of. Obviously, the wasps are going through a last defense here to try and stop you from leaving after all that you've done.
It's actually the squirrels right now who are stopping you.
Oh, is it the squirrels in this section?
Yeah, we backstabbed the squirrels in the fight.
All right, yeah, so I guess we should take a quick moment to explain the overall lore of this. In the beginning, we get contacted by the squirrels because the wasps have taken over the tree, and they want us to go in with their handcrafted sap and matchstick gun and try and exterminate them out of the tree. And now here we are at the end here, trying to get away. I'm using a plane made out of misshapen things, as well as, most notably, Cody's lovely heart boxers.
And to answer Pika, they are actually gonna go for the final skip in this section. Yeah. They're gonna try it once, and if they don't get it, then they won't try again, because it's a very hard skip, and if you mess it up, you lose like 20 seconds. But they are gonna try it once.
It is indeed a very punishing skip, and yes, the community does have a very silly colloquial name for the skip that if you folks come and join the ITT Speedruns Discord or come hang out, you may hear it, but it is also known as Mortal Wombat Skip.
Yeah, because we're skipping the Mortal Kombat against the squirrel.
Which in and of itself is unfortunate that we don't get to see that all the time, but we may get to see it depending on how the skip goes. Essentially what they're going to attempt to do is at the very end of this tunnel section, there is a crack that they're going to try and escape out of, and it's coming up very soon here, so get your brages ready.
It's a very tight fit, and if you hit the wall, you're pretty much always dead. Oh, okay. He turned too late. He saw that he was too late, and he just opted not to go for it.
He did come in quite high there, and that's okay because sometimes you can use the visual cue of the leaves in order to start pulling up. But at the top of that wall there'll be a crack on the right-hand side that you can try and escape out of, and then it takes you out of bounds, and you can fly to the very end of the level where you skip this fight, as well as another glider section where you hold on to the boxers and glide through the air to try and get to Rose's room. Bam is also absolutely obliterating Chief right now. Let's go.
I think I got only hit once, which even was a grab, so it's pretty hard to dodge grabs. So
yeah, he was able to do very well there at doing the. I think the strat for that fight, I should say, is to just do the jump kicks and get on either side, because as Chief tries to turn around, it can be a little bit difficult for him.
Yeah.
Cap, no Papa, only Jan. Hey, Bites is here too. Good to see you, Bites. Former world record holder, currently second place with Bites, or with Bites. He is Bites with Hyper. And I believe the next marathon showing of It Takes Two is actually going to be AGDQ featuring Bites and Hyper doing the 90% category. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a fantastic time.
I'll never look at a squirrel the same way again.
Yeah, this section is fairly straightforward. All they're going to do is both characters can influence which way the glider tips by sliding to the left or to the right.
Yeah, there was one thing you really have to dodge, but they passed it.
Ooh, tight on the left-hand side there. That's okay. There they go. Well done to recover. Bites and more bites. There is only bites, Pika. Oh. If there's any more quick announcements to be made before we get into the next chapter of the game here, go for it.
Yeah, this is going to be the last auto-scroller for a bit.
Yeah, just saying that there's also going to be some prizes out if you donate to the stream. The next thing that's up is an SGLive 2021 t-shirt.
Wonderful. I've looked at the merch store. Some of it's pretty freaking cool. So y'all gotta get your donations in and compete for those t-shirts. Or just buy one and support outright. Whatever way is cool. And here we are in Rose's room. Welcome to Pillow Fort.
Yeah, Rose's room is the longest chapter that we have, and we're gonna see the new power-ups immediately after this hacking session. Because Cody is gonna get the ability to grow and shrink, and May is gonna get special boots which allow her to change gravity when she walks onto special areas. And we can really break the game with especially May's boots. By going upside down or sideways, you can get to some interesting places.
Yeah, no, that getting sideways and altering the gravity is going to be one of the main facets of an upcoming way to skip a ton of this section of the game and spaced out here. This subchapter is called. These players are going to do well to cooperate with each other, as is the name of the game.
Yeah. So what we have here is a giant tower, where you have to complete section by section in order to unlock like this anti-gravity force field. And but each floor has 3 portals with different rooms which you have to complete in order to complete a floor. And we're gonna skip all 6 of the portals. So right now they only unlock the first floor. And we're gonna skip it by going backwards.
Bam's gonna send off the stars for a cool effect there. Just little interesting interactives like that you can do in the game.
Yeah,
He's just gonna wait for LP3 to go back to the beginning of the level here to initiate again that change in direction of the gravity that's gonna be. There we go. Well done to LP3. That's a very difficult trick to get on top of those very tight spaces there, like the what's the word? The what's it called? I'm trying to think. It's like you put it above the child's bed.
Yeah, I know what it is, but I don't know how to call it. Yeah, so what he's able to do right now, he's still flipped upside down, so he can ground pound upside down. So
thank you guys.
So he's actually going up, which, by doing that, he's able to hit a checkpoint, and they just skip the first floor. And now they're gonna skip the second floor as well, and now Cody actually has to do something.
Yeah, coming into this area, Cody would normally use those conductors, those little statues, to finish a puzzle and finish this room, but now he's actually going to go on a smuggling operation. He's going to place it down behind this portal, run around the side of it, and he's going to go back through and spam the grab button so that he can hopefully bring it through with him back to the first area here. And he gets it.
It is invisible, but he does have it. Oh, wow,
and he first tried it too. That's amazing. So yeah, typically then what you do is you have to shrink, go underneath it, and try and grow and grab it at the same time. And it'll trigger Cody being able to grab it while in the shortened form, his tiny form, so that the game still thinks that he's regular size, so he can move at his regular size pace while still being in the small form.
And that just gives you the ability to really get some big momentum. And meanwhile, May was going sideways actually and just climbing the entire level. And by activating this final thing, they're able to skip to the second layer of portals as well.
And we saw Bam put down the statue there as a means of a backup there. So when LP3 jumped down to hit that second button, if they miss it, you can use that little statue as a means to jump back up and get into that area as a little bit of a backup. So now it's on to the fight against Moon Baboon. So very somewhat auto-scrolly at the beginning of this fight. All you have to do is just dodge a lot of these lasers and then get yourself in position at the end to do exactly the same thing. The laser targeting will switch back and forth between whoever, like whichever character from fire to fire, so you do have to be mindful of that. But in the end, all you're doing is waiting for these towers to come out of the ground and getting Moon Baboon to shoot it with his own laser as to damaging himself.
Yeah, it's very straightforward.
Moon Baboon does have a wholesome, I guess, motive in this. He is trying to protect Rose throughout all of this because he sees us as invaders in Rose's room on a conquest to do Rose harm. Because at the very end of this, we're trying to make it all the way to the Queen Ellie the elephant, which is Rose's favorite stuffed animal. We're trying to do some interesting things to the elephant to make means to our goals here to try and turn back into humans. Coming up here, we're going to have the rockets attacking Moon Baboon. Now, there is an interesting strat that we'll see if they employ, where after Cody hits Moon Baboon with his second rocket here, he can dash to the right, hitting Moon Baboon on the right-hand side, and try and stay on top. He just misses it. That's okay, though. And normally what that would allow you to do is if Cody can stay on top of Moon Baboon, he can land in his shrunken form in the spot that he needs to be on to enter Moon Baboon right off the beginning and save a little bit of time.
Yeah. You would be able to immediately after this cutscene enter, and now he has to spend a couple seconds to get in.
And here comes one of the most difficult tricks in the game.
Is he going for it?
I think they said they were going to go for this. We'll know very shortly here. So Coming up is UFO Skip, which is a skip that can be done blind off thing. Oh no, they are going to go past it. Okay. I do remember seeing them go for it earlier today in some of their practice attempts, but I guess they just decided to go the normal route through this.
Yeah, so May just clipped out of bounds just for safety. So, because normally she gets attacked by Moon Baboon and you just have to survive up there. It's mostly about Cody in this section. Cody has to get as quickly as possible. Ooh, misses the cycle. Cody has to get as quickly as possible to the end of this platforming, and then we're gonna get on to the next phase of the fight, where we're actually taking over the entire ship. And now we're shooting Moon Baboon.
Yeah, it's fairly auto-scrolly. It is RNG where Moon Baboon decides to spawn in going through this. A good first shot by Bam there. LP3 controlling the UFO. Just has to follow him as he goes around. He will have an invisibility shield after every shot, but you just do well to follow him around. And as soon as he sits down and respawns in, then Bam can shoot him. There he is coming into view. Another good shot from Bam.
It is complete RNG which way he's gonna go, which way he's gonna run. You're gonna get really lucky where he's just like that. He just ran towards them. It's just completely RNG where he goes.
Still, all around, a fairly clean, spaced out.
Yeah. I mean, this entire run so far. No major mistakes.
And now, here we are in Hopscotch.
Yeah. We're gonna see a lot of different rooms really quick, back to back. They're skipping a couple puzzles with one slide jump right there. And this is a pretty difficult room to get through quickly. Oh, LP3 falling down. It is another room where we only need one person to get to the end. Because there's just a checkpoint so we can reset.
Oh,
and,
Bam
get the
doing
second
it
player.
very cleanly.
Yeah.
One of our fellow runners, Glint, actually did well to find a particular route through that room that is a lot quicker because the blocks are on a set cycle off of the beginning. So if you wait for a certain rotation, the pattern will remain the same, and you can get through fairly simple. And now Bam going to do well to skip some of these rails here and get to another checkpoint here.
Yeah, so normally you would have one person guiding the first one through, and then that first person would have to help the second person to also get through. But we're just gonna do both routes with only one character, and then get the checkpoint that way.
The name of the game here through Hopscotch is to complete all these different rooms as quick as you can. And again, here's going to be another example of where the slide jump really helps us out. Normally, you would have to do a bunch of these puzzles. No worries there for LP3. Bam's going to get all the way to the end and trigger the cutscene. Well done.
Yeah, normally there are a couple math test things and Pictionary and whatnot. It takes a long time to get through casually, but yeah, why do the math when you can just jump to the next table, you know?
Just go fast for it.
Yeah, just go fast.
I see in chat we have just AJZ as well, one of our world record holders with Lovable Big Man. Good to see you, AJ. That was actually fairly clean for them to get the cheese to the end there. So they're going to have a series of a few of these boards that are going to get progressively harder, much like the Fitness Gram Pacer test as they continue. And again, it's just going to be a bunch of teamwork. This game does well to incorporate a lot of different physics-based puzzles and things that players really have to work together to get through this. I know there's some co-op games where you can kind of cheese it, and there's certain things you can get away with. And this game, some of these puzzles aren't super forgiving, but they're doing extremely well to get through this. Well done to them to get through that second cheese puzzle there.
This one can be a bit difficult. If they ever die, then they will have to do this room all over again. They opt to take it slow and just finish the room first try.
There we go. You're gonna pull the spots out of the wall here, go up, do some wall jumps. The fitness gram pacer test, PK, yes. And again, while some of these rooms are still done in theory as intended from just the casual playthrough of the game, the movement tech that goes into getting through them as quickly as humanly possible in these cases is really excellent, and some of the movement that they're doing is awesome. There's a great skip there off the right-hand side. Normally you would have to get that to come out of the wall to get across, but if you can just collide with the top there, then you're good to go.
Yeah, it's just wide enough to stand on. And coming up is going to be a very cool skip.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that Hazelight's done well in this game for us is for lots of things to have collision.
Yeah.
It's made for a lot of fun skips.
So right now they have these fidget spinners which they use to fly, and there's just a gap in the wall right there. And with one fly through that, okay, they got it. And they're already done with the fidget spinners.
Yep. Such a
If you
cool
did this
tech.
casually this is like a 10-minute section just flying all over the place, and we just found one spot in the wall and we're just done with it.
And in the immortal words of Dr. Hakim, life is like a kaleidoscope. Well done for them to get this trick here there too. So all they're doing during that section is as they're falling down, they are spamming dash to one side, and then as soon as they get the dash, they're jumping, and that allows them to get out of bounds so that they can go across the top of this and skip one of the transitionary sections there where you get kind of sucked around.
Yeah, deaths are intentional right there, but the spawn is below the death plane, so... Oh, LP3 missing.
All good. He gets through it, and then that will spawn there. We continue forward. Oh!
Yeah, only
I
one
heard
person...
the Cody death animation there. That was interesting.
I don't think a death even matters, as long as one person gets in.
And again, just connecting all the lines here, and then meet in the middle and get taken through to the next area, which will be the Kaleidoscope Tower climb.
Yeah.
Which is another prime example of where the slide jump can break the game, because you're able to access areas you darn well shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, so this tower, the gimmick of it is that you have to rotate all the levels of it. But we don't need to rotate it at all. We just are able to make every jump barely, but we are able to.
Bam having a reset on his jump there, but that's okay. Continue through to the top, grab on, spin the top, and they're done with Hopscotch. Again, still to this point, very clean all around. This run has been quite impressive.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Next is train station, right?
Yes, should be.
Okay, so train station also shows like some interesting mechanics with item pickups. So you have these figures which we have to put in spots, and normally you have to put a boy and a girl right here and make them kiss. But if you're able to kind of jump while you're placing them, then the game actually thinks that you put in two, but you're actually only putting in one.
It is a bit of a finicky trick here. It's the physics of it aren't quite what you think they would be, so Bam's doing what he can here. Oh, it looked like it should have done it there, because essentially what you're trying to do is you look at one, jump in the air, put it down, and go to the other.
They're gonna back up. Yeah,
There
okay.
we go.
So, oh no.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so he got the trick, but then he accidentally put it back in anyways. So the game thought that they kissed, and he was able to pick it back up again, because they need a fourth figure.
That's okay. That's what backup strategies are for. So he's going to bring one extra character over so you can place it, so they can operate the lever and allow them to escape the train station and continue on their way.
This doesn't look like the way to the castle.
Yeah, there's a little bit of an auto-scroller in between every level as you get the cinematic transitions between and you get into the new area. But now this is Dino Land.
Yeah, and here they have to help each other control these mechanical dinos all around the level. We just
Anytime
have
you
them.
see the red dinosaur go on top of the little red platforms there, they're going to slam down and flip everything around. So there's a few pieces that the green dinosaur has to hold on to stop that flip from happening.
Yeah, we just have an optimal way of flipping everything in the correct order.
Now he's gonna... Bam is going to head over here. LP3 is going to grab onto this one. Bam's going to flip everything over and then go off to the sides and die, so he gets the death warp back up top. And then we'll just slide him over just as usual.
And then we're actually going to leave him. So we're not going to do this final wall, because we found out that if you just activate this final platform, you can just jump to it as May, or as the one that's controlling the green dino. So he's going out of bounds right here, and then he gets it.
Well done. Another example of the slide jumps being absolutely fantastic.
Why do I smell smoke?
Smoke? I don't smell anything.
Yeah, and then right now we're gonna get the most boring section of this room.
Oh, come on now. There's some interesting parts of Pirates Ahoy.
So the annoying bit of what's coming up is that we have this like boats that we have to control with both players, which is fine in and of itself. But the problem is when you play this online with people across the world, the desync can be quite big, and cannons can shoot in all directions, and yeah, it can be all kinds of bad.
But all things considered so far, with the name of the game just being don't hit, or well, hit, but then don't get hit forehead, they're doing quite well at it here. They bonked a little bit on the right-hand side here, but moving overall extremely cleanly through this section. They're going to blow up the wall there and continue on through. And then coming up, there will be, I suppose you'd call it the mini-boss of this section, with 3 pirate ships that are going to spawn in this upcoming area here. And again, a reset checkpoint there just to skip some setup cutscenes there, and here they are all spawned in. They are going to go the... Sorry, go ahead.
The final boss of this level is a giant octopus. And the thing with that boss fight is that you normally always do it in 3 cycles. But it is possible to do it in 2 cycles. But we don't know exactly how or why it works. So right now for us it feels a bit random whether or not we get the 2 cycle. And it's actually a pretty big skip, because you save like 20 seconds if you get the 2 cycle instead of the 3 cycle.
Hey, hello to all the penguins! So cute. One of the things I love about this game is just the cinematography and the cinematics of everything. It's just such a beautiful game. All the different areas are so well thought out, and just a lot of really cool areas and pretty sights that you can find throughout this game. Unfortunate that we skip so much of it speedrunning it. So yeah, all it is there is shooting those tentacles to get them down, and coming up you can see his head peering over the wall. It's going to be the octopus boss fight. I think the key to this one here is definitely going to be just how quickly can they fire their cannons.
Yeah, we gotta pray for the 2 cycle. Okay, they're hitting every shot. Oh no.
Oh, they missed a little bit to the right. Okay, they're recovering. I think that's okay. They did really well there to time the cannon fire there. They got a lot of shots off. That was impressive. I see house 8284 with the penguin and
they
chat.
They might have it actually. There's a little visual cue which we think works with his health bar, because we always are in the same position after that little cutscene. And they might have the 2 cycle.
Yeah, the opacity of that bar allows us to see off in the distance a particular lantern or lamp that we might be able to tell and see how far they are. Let's see if they get it here. Oh no, sorry, not quite yet. They have to kill these tentacles first. I'm ahead of myself.
So the next damage phase is gonna be the decider.
Where we going? Get out of our way.
Those are good tentacle spawns too. They're very close to each other.
Right, let's see it.
Come on, Bam and LP. You got this.
Now I'm starting to feel sick too.
Just don't throw up.
No.
Oh, one cannon short.
Yeah, that's how rough the 2 cycle is. You're just so close.
All things considered, though, still very well. Even if you get within that one cannon shot, that's difficult to do. Like, yeah, no, definitely if they hit all those cannons in the first section, but all things considered, still very, very well done by them to get through Pirates Ahoy. Now, coming up next, we're going to get The Greatest Show. One of my favorite musicals.
It's kind of like that haunted house ride.
Love Hugh Jackman.
Remind me. You didn't like it either.
Yeah. The worst first date ever.
But we
So there's a few different ways that you can start this section. I believe the way they're intending to go is, yes, up top of the clown here. So they're going to jump and attempt to get onto the strands of lights there. And once they do that, it'll allow them to get in behind this big top, this cart or this wooden big top that you see here, and get around to the next room, which will skip a bunch of the section here.
Yeah, so the gimmick of this level is that you are escorting a metal ball, but it moves very slow. So we're skipping the first few bits.
Oh, you
gets
got
it.
that one. Let's go.
Because we're able to spawn the ball a bit further down after this section.
Well done. They got it in 3.
That doesn't happen a lot.
That's a very finicky section of this run, even
Yeah.
for our most experienced runners. There is a few lineups that work for it, though. But here's, we're going to cross over here. We're going to get the trapeze act. And it looks like it might be difficult, but really May just has to not do anything. If May just does absolutely nothing, that ball will stay in the center and you'll get across with ease.
Yeah, for this ending, we're gonna do a death warp. So you're gonna see Cody already move all the way to the end of the level, because he's gonna set his spawn point on that blue cushion, and then he's gonna go back and make sure that he doesn't hit another spawn point. So he's got a slide jump all the way to the ball,
Well
and
done.
as long as he only stays on the side, he gets it. That's very clean.
That was very, very clean. So yeah, he's able to death warp over to that spot by not resetting where his location is on the map. And that was a very clean greatest show.
Yeah.
On to the next subchapter. Should be Once Upon a Time, I believe.
Very tiny subchapter.
Mm-hmm.
Cody, the tracks are ending.
Oh no! I forgot! I never finished building the...
What did you not finish building, Cody? We'll never know. He's hiding something from us.
Yeah, so this subchapter is a lot of fun when you're doing it casual, because there are a lot of mini games, a lot of little things, and
Back, Cody.
yeah, Easter eggs kind of stuff. But all you really have to do is get this bowling ball through the door,
Rain here.
gonna break into the castle.
Useful.
Maybe one day the devs will tell us. You got that right, Cam. We'll stand at the gates, pitchforks in hand. But yeah, all we have to do here is one person goes up top, brings the magnet down, grabs the bowling ball, other person brings it around, and then you come up here, you grab onto it. And desync can play a role here, as you have to really communicate with the host as to where the bowling ball is and when it's going to go back and forth. I think the record for the most knocks it's taken to open the door is 14.
Yeah,
Usually you can
14.
get it in 4.
Three is optimal, but 4 is gonna happen most of the time. Yeah.
This is still very quick for these guys.
Oh, you can't stop me, Gate!
Welcome to Dungeon Crawler. This is the ARPG section of the game. There is a way that you can get out of bounds here, and we're going to see it exhibited by these players here. They're going to head around up top here, deal with some of these guards. They're going to play the first little bit of this level as intended so they can get across. And where you see LP3 is now on that far side is going to be an area that you can get out of bounds using their respective abilities. So Cody is going to come up to this wall here. He's going to use his teleport ability, and they're going to use that to try and... There it is. They're going to just wiggle and get out of bounds using the abilities.
Yeah, and they have to be very careful, because everything is just pure darkness here, and levels only load if you get really close to them. So the rooms are just... They are there, but they're not Ooh, that's what I mean. So they only show up once you get really close to them, and they have to navigate through everything. But they should be good, seeing that they have the lava on the bottom. Because if they fall into one of the rooms, like 9 out of 10 times, they're just soft locked and have to restart this entire chapter. But they got it clean.
Now we spawn in one of the mini bosses in this game, the demonic Jack-in-the-Box doll, and they're gonna have to do what they can to try and escape this because they're not quite powerful enough yet to face it on their own. So they're just gonna work together. There is doors on either side of the rooms, but really it just makes sense. It is faster to just kill the same doors. Hack and slash your way through and get all the way to the end as the doll is gonna work her way up. And basically just use your ultimate abilities at the end to break these. And a reset checkpoint at the end. What if one of them is a traitor? How do they know they can trust the other? Well, honestly, it takes a lot of trust and understanding to be a cooperative speedrunner.
Yeah, actually I have a secret in 3 where you're actually killing the other player. So the first one who presses a button just gets sucked up, and then the other player has the control over that person and just gets to kill him.
You're not supposed to tell chat that.
Yeah.
See, is that the solo co-op strat? You just kill the other player off and you just take control for yourself? So yeah, basically the troll just takes turns locking onto a particular player, and all you have to do is get them to go into the 4 chains in the corners. Then they will fall into the center, and you have to try and kill the hands at the same time so that they fall into the fire, because if you kill one of them too early, he will reach it back up and grab on. So if you do it at the same time, then he falls in, and you go on to the king and queen fight.
Yeah, the strat for this fight is to always follow the queen. The way the AI works is that the queen is just random, but the king always goes towards the player. So you just go to the queen, and if the king is is there as well, then it's just good luck. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you can keep them close together, it works very well, because May's ultimate in this is an area of effect spin. So if you keep them close to each other where May can hit them, it does a lot of damage as well. If you can line them up in a line, as you see Bam doing there with Cody, you can get damage off on both of them. So all things considered, well done for them in that fight.
That's a cool final line. All the way across the board.
And we are through Dungeon Crawler.
Now is the favorite section, right?
Oh boy.
So this is the queen, and in the cutscene she tries to escape, but gets stuck. Whoa, they almost missed that.
Well done.
Okay, and we're just gonna get the queen because we want to throw her off the bookshelf in order to make Rose cry, and we're just gonna rip her apart.
This in the immortal words of Doom Guy, rip and tear.
Rip and tear. This is, yeah, you feel this one the first time you play it.
Yes, they're going for the bad ending. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and she just always stays positive, always wants to be friends with us, and we just don't care, and we just...
No, Tolwyn, I'm sorry. Don't think we're all monsters. It's just we need Rose's tears to turn back into people. We don't want to be dolls for the rest of our lives. It's fine. Yeah, basically, as far as mechanics go, this is basically just an auto scroller. There's a few times where you have to mash or pull in a certain direction. I felt so bad when I was playing this the first time. Oh, I know, the incredible. We all felt so bad going through this section for the first time. When I played through this casually, oh my goodness. My girlfriend hated me. We're almost there. We're
just
almost there.
Just gonna kick her off and just get on with our day.
I know chat just thinks we're a bunch of monsters
Yeah.
now. Yes, yes. Goodbye, sweet elephant.
Long live the king.
And that is the end of Rose's Room, the longest chapter in our game. Coming
Yeah,
up
so
next. Oh, sorry, go for it.
Yeah, we're now in Clockwork, and we're gonna see the new ability straight away. So May gets a clone ability, where she's just able to leave a holographic like copy of herself, and she's able to teleport back to it, and barely misses that jump, which is a bit sad.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the chapters where the power differentials allow for some pretty interesting movement tech with May's cloning. Because whenever May... I'm sorry, I totally just blanked out. Did you just talk about the jump resets with the clone or no?
No, I didn't.
So whenever May clones and then she lands, she gains her jump and double jump back. So if she gets up to a higher area and then clones and lands, she can go back to her clone and she can then double jump out of it, which allows her to get some extra height and reach some higher places than she normally would be able to. So because of what happened to Bam here, we're going to have to see an interesting alternate strat out of LP3, where LP3 is going to do both of these rooms by himself, using May's cloning ability. An excellent job there. So what he does is by landing in that first room, he triggers the dolls to come into the room. Then he uses the clone's ability to regain the jumping to clear that wall and hit the button in the next room. Well done by LP3. That's a difficult strat.
Yeah, and Cody's ability is a lot, well, less interesting, because he's able to interact with a couple things in the world where he's able to get it back into time. So for instance, this cloud, he's just able to lower the water drops in order to put out the fire.
There's a sweet spot that you can put it just to the right of that first tick there on his little meter that he gets for changing time. And he's able to put out both fires at the same time, so well done to Bam there for finding that. LP3 is going to use the clone tech here to bring the bridge down. Bam's going to seal it up with the time tech, and they're going to continue on to the gate.
Oh, they're not killing the pigs. Oh, Bam is. Let's go.
What do you mean kill the pig? He's going to feed the pig.
Oh yeah, sorry. They're completely fine. They're not going to the slaughterhouse. What do you mean?
All we're doing is just portraying ourselves as monsters. Come on now.
We're the bad guys. We might be the bad guys.
All right. Now, you just
Well, they
The
got
funny
that
thing
really
about
quick.
this clock is actually local time, so it takes the time of your PC and just portrays that on the clock. Pretty funny.
Yeah, I didn't know this was Krypton and pure evil genocide run with torture along the way. I didn't know we were running Undertale genocide. No, there are lots of things we save along the way. We've already proven that in Tree. I mean, yes, we killed a ton of wasps, but
Nobody likes wasps.
here comes one of my favorite lines in the entire game from May. There's a few good ones throughout this entire game.
okay, smarty pants, but these aren't machines.
And they're flying bird machine. So yes, welcome to the coming up on the ending of Gates of Time after they do these towers. The ending itself is obstructed by a huge shield, and within both of these towers exists the means of getting rid of that shield. But in order to unlock the top of the tower and to take out the shield generator, we have to go through these towers and get to the end. And so there's the timing tech here of getting through, and whatever that big clock on the end is pointing to, those platforms are going to remain solid. And so you just have to, you can time it out so you can get through on quick cycles to skip some of the platforms.
Yeah, LP3 got the fastest cycle. Bam missed once at the start. Got a bit unlucky with what was active at the time.
Bam did very well there to get all 3 of those to throw it away. And there's certain areas where those little bombs will spawn above that are closer together than others, so that you can go over to them and just spam on them and grab them and be able to take out the tower generator very quickly. Pika's favorite line is, "That must be Moon Baboon's communication tower." That is also a good one.
Yeah, so this tower has a section where with a code, but the code is always the same. So we just remembered it, and we were able to put it in with the 2 players.
Yeah, it's B, bird, and then counterclockwise. So there's a pattern that you can do every time where you'll get it super quick and it remains the same. So
Yeah.
well done to the players to get that cycle first try. And now very much the same here, where they go up and grab the bombs. And it will take down that shield.
Top of the tower. Interesting.
Yeah. That's the VIP parking.
Oh, yeah.
So now Bam and Cody are going to let the dolls in. And then they are just going to grab onto these side parts here, wall jump back and forth to actuate the door. And then as soon as it opens, they'll be inside the clock tower. Personally, I think this is one of the most beautiful parts of the game. I love Clock Tower for its cinematics and how it looks. It's very pretty. So here we get the Star Wars garbage compactor spot here, where May's just going to teleport through, grab the bird's beak. And all they're going to do now is dash over, grab one of these keys here, spin it into the ground. Death is usually in Clock Tower, Castlevania.
After this section, like, we're gonna get a walking section, just exposition of the of how beautiful their game is.
Mm-hmm.
But after this, we're gonna get one of the hardest tricks in the game as well, and only May can perform it because of her clone ability. And what it skips is just 2 entire rooms where we have to collect a key, and it skips the bull fight. There's a mini boss where you have to fight a mechanical bull, and I really hope that he gets this first try. It's not an easy trick at all, but it saves so much time.
LP3 did very well in their practices earlier today at this, so I think he's ready. Yeah, no, Bull Skip was a very impressive find, and all around is just fun to watch because of all the mechanics that go into it. There's the oysters, there's the slide jumps, there's the clone movement resetting, and all Bam's gonna do here is go to a spot where he is able to find some FPS saving, I believe.
I think he's gonna go for a backup. I think he's gonna collect the or stand next to the key that takes the longest, just in case.
Oh, he is, yes, indeed.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's the best thing to do probably in a marathon. Just go for a backup, because he has to wait anyway. There's nothing he can do right now. Alright, he gets to the key.
And LP3 doing a smart strategy here where he's oh, well done. Had a clone set up there so that if he was missing up that first jump, he could go back and have a base to try it again.
Yeah, the room you're seeing where he's walking around is actually the bull fight, the room for it. If he ever falls down here... Okay, if he ever would have fallen down here, he is soft-locked, so he would have had to start all over.
Yeah, so he runs into the corner here, uses the clone, he's going to get up, and all this is done blind. It's basically muscle memory at this point because you have no visual cues, although I believe there are some off the back that you can use. Like there are some other visual lineups, but as far as this invisible wall goes, it's a very, very thin invisible wall that you have to get on top of and get around.
Oh, okay, this is fine because his clone is up there. I think he has it.
There he goes.
Yeah.
Well done, LP3.
Oh. Finish it. Okay, and here's actually the bull. He's just spawned here.
He's just chilling, and then you grab the bird beak, and then you RCP to get past the bullfight.
Very good.
Well done to LP3.
Oh, a little bit of miscommunication.
There
right
they go. Again, Cody just controls time there to move the walls back and forth to allow for there to be the wall jump. LP3 going to slide jump across and be able to push this down to give Cody an avenue to get back up top. Good positioning by Bam there to not get crushed. I've done that one before. And May just places a clone there so that she can hold the button for Cody to come across. And then voila. Damn, he missed. I mean, nice team play. Well, looks like Bam is going to go for
Bam misses it.
Oh, that's okay.
There is a spot where you can stand on the outside and the game thinks that you're inside. And then you're just able to completely AFK because you cannot be hit from the outside.
Harm you? This clock is going to slice us into pieces.
Okay, if you can't calm me down, please, just don't say anything.
Just don't trip.
Sorry, I'm just answering a message very quickly of importance. My apologies.
Right now, nothing major is going on.
This is very true. It is an auto-scroller, so. Although, mind you, they do have to be careful because they're inside. If both of them die, then it will restart them at the bottom of the climb there. So.
And it is a one-hit kill. Yeah, after this auto-scroller, we're gonna get a very interesting section because it can be done really fast. But if you miss the cycle, you can get screwed over big time. It's not an easy cycle to get, that's for sure.
And they're at the top. Now comes fast ropes.
Yeah, let's see.
So again, with the RCP that goes into this, the room is on a cycle. And one of the ropes at the very end of the room is in a particular position that makes it so that you don't even have to wait. You just go through. And if you can grab onto it, you'll get right to the end before it has the opportunity to actuate back and forth. You'll see it at the end there. I think this is actually one cycle
This
off.
is one cycle. Yeah, it is one cycle off, but it's like max of 10 seconds.
Still
It's
very fast getting to the end there.
Yeah, and then we're gonna get a quote-unquote mini-boss, because it looks and feels like a boss fight, but it is actually, you know, a completely AFK auto-scroller. Because even though you can die here, there is nothing stopping you from just respawning and not losing any time. Like, even if both players die, they don't lose any time. It's just a safe. It's just safe. It's a safe death.
It's interesting the way that it worked in that regard.
Yeah, I don't know why they made it this way. Would have been fine to just make it a normal mini-boss, but I guess they wanted to progress the players no matter what.
There's definitely certain parts of this game that have been made to be more player friendly too, which I do like, because it allows for you to experience the game and some of the cinematography, while there's other sections that do challenge you. Experience the design.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. If there's any other, I think if there's any other announcements that have been waiting, this would be a good time for it, because all they're going to do here is run to the next section and have to avoid some chimes that swing down at you.
Yeah, well, we have a donation for $20. And the comment says for Super Mario Odyssey Lockout Tournament next year, apparently.
Fantastic. Yeah,
and also
so
again... Oh, sorry.
okay, no, go for it. Go for it.
Oh, and also, as I said earlier, come by and donate some money for this, because it's go for a good cause.
Hell yeah.
Indeed. It's always great to see the gaming community come together for events like this to showcase everybody's skills and what they've been working on. And here they're just going to fall down, and in this section all you have to do is head to the bottom left, because there is only one part of this that will actually hit you if you're just chilling in the bottom left, such as LP3 is, and you can't take enough damage from the one spot that hits you to cause you to take damage and restart.
It's 2 spots, right?
Is there another one?
No, no, no. Like, I mean, you get hit twice.
Oh, you might be right. There's one there.
And then there's one coming out. I think.
And then...
there's
yes,
second.
there's the second one. So you take half your health bar.
Yeah, so it's completely free if you just stay in one spot. Use their checkpoint to skip a cutscene.
And the cue there is just to, as soon as you see color, and then obviously the iconic Dr. Hakim checkpoint saving, you can reset and you'll end up in this section. All you got to do is, usually every runner has a different strategy, or every team, I should say, has a different strategy. Just communicate and see who's going to go where first, and all you do is guide the bombs to get to the clocks, and you'll be on to your next section.
Yeah.
And coming
This
up
ending does have a skip, where we are able to death warp onto a much later platform. Because it's a slow-mo section where they have to work together in order to get May to the end. And let's see if they get the death warp first try.
all May has to do is jump up onto the wall there. Cody uses his time to go about 50% between the second and third, or I should say the first and third tick on there. And then he will go right to the end. Oh, it's unfortunate. That's okay.
I think they were a bit too low. Gonna go for it again though.
The thing that I like to do here, and I'm not sure if it actually affects how it works or not. There we go. Is if as soon as May touches that platform and jumps off, if you just cram to the right on Cody's time bar, it usually helps. I don't know. It may just be placebo, but haven't missed it doing that. And again,
my understanding, the Cody's position doesn't matter. It's just May's position.
There you go. Like I said, it might just be placebo. Glint might just be cracked. And very shortly here, he'll be coming up on the end of Clock Tower. So all they have to do is avoid some of these platforms that get taken out from underneath them and jump onto the end bit. And voila, they are out of Clock Tower. Coming up next is my personal favorite chapter in the game. Snow Globe.
Yeah, we're gonna start off straight away with a very hard trick.
Snowshed Kappa, I know.
So, right from the beginning, they're gonna go left, and they're gonna jump on this tree. And now they want to slide jump off of the bigger tree. Oh no, they're doing the safe setup. Oh, he misses.
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways that you can skin a cat here, as it were. You can either jump from the lower branch and do a slide jump off the very tip of the tree to get up out of bounds on an invisible barrier, or you can do what they're doing there. I know, that one looked like it should have been a for sure make.
LP3 has it.
LP3 has it.
So now he's standing on a big invisible wall. There's a slide jump even higher, and then you're able to skip this entire first chapter. Alright, Bam, you got this.
Let's go, okay. Bam. There we go.
Sick.
Let's see if he gets the oyster.
Nope.
Well, a little bit early, that's okay. Yeah, you can get an absolutely nasty slide jump off of the top of that mountain there, and use that oyster that we talked about to get the momentum to carry you. Do they lose the time powers from before? Yes, they do. So each chapter features different powers that Hakim gives them that are all related to them making up for their fighting and their transgressions. So now in this chapter, the main gimmick is their magnets. So they're trying to repair their attraction and connection to one another, as it were.
And you say it's the main gimmick, but we barely use it.
Well, when you're playing it casually, I suppose.
Yeah. So in Winter Village, where we are right now, there are 4 towers, which normally you have to activate all of them. But we found a spot right at the end, at the mountain, where if you just walk over that spot, you hit a trigger, which activates the ending sequence of this level. So we're able to skip all of the towers. Normally they're all co-op puzzle towers. But we found some interesting platforming, which you'll see right now.
I just killed the fattest spider that ran across the floor of the basement. Holy crap, that was terrifying. I had to use my Yeti water bottle. But anyways, yes, we're back. I could have said it better myself, Iron. Yeah, no, again, another interesting interaction they can do here is running into that that invisible wall that carries them up around so they can get access to the higher ledge there. And they're doing these series of oob events here. And now what Bam just did is he would have triggered the loading of the next area, which changes the music and loads the ending bit such that we're able to grab onto these bobsleds that are going to show up. As you see, we're going to slide underneath the track here. And bobsleds is one of the bigger auto-scrollers in this game as well, too. However, there is still some tech that makes it a little bit faster. There is an out of bounds that can make the ending about 3 seconds faster. But it is, I don't think really anybody actually goes for it. It's just kind of a meme for whoever's second out of the gates here.
Yeah.
Big Skyrim vibes from this climbing section. Oh, definitely. Oh, it's online.
Yeah, there's no real way to speed it up. Like you can hit all the boosters, but only one person has to really do it. LP is going for the out of bounds, but it's very finicky. Like the way it works is in that first corner, you're able to bounce left and right, and you get such a momentum that you actually bounce out of the bobsled and just onto the normal snow outside. But yeah, there's no harm in not getting that.
I think you have to get all of the boost pads leading up to it in order to be able to...
I don't know. I've personally never gotten it before, so...
I think myself and Glint have gotten it like twice.
Yeah, I know it exists, but yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if there's any announcements, now would also be a good time to plug those, because again, it's basically just follow the boost pads and head to the end of this section.
There's still possible to make some donations to the incentive Primal Life switch to low percent relaxed, which will happen in around 3 hours. So come over and donate some money for it.
Fantastic. And coming up is going to be an interesting section beneath the ice. The starting here has a lot of different ways that you can go, a lot of different strats. And I believe what we're going to see here is the out of bounds hill climb and the proxy.
Yeah, the proxy is insane. If you look at May's screen, what he's trying to do is go into the wall and just jump up. Okay, so he got a little bit of height, but we want like 5 times as much height as that.
And you're going to see it, don't you worry. And then on Bam's side of the screen, we see him using one of those rail grind sections in order to boost himself out of bounds and climb up the side of this mountain here. And we will make mention of one of the hardest in the game. Oh, I
Not
know.
enough.
LP3 getting very close. So LP3 is going to go for the backup now to the proxy.
Yeah.
Where he's going to go for a similar oob that Bam just went through. But what Bam is doing here, there is another way to get up to the area that he's about to jump down to called Bti Wall Climb, which was discovered by Lovable Big Man, one of our fantastic mods and world record holder in any percent, where you can bounce up a wall. And basically what you're doing is you're aiming for a minuscule spot on the wall that has a jump reset. And by basically just ramming your head into this wall, by jumping into it, you can somehow find this minuscule, like pixel perfect jump reset and be able to get up to the wall and get to the area that Bam is now skating on. But
Yeah,
it's
so
extremely difficult.
what they're actually doing is they're in this... Oh, he almost falls down. So what they're... In this level, there are 3 pipes, which we have to activate. And we found ways to do pipes by yourself. So they're both going to one pipe. So as you can see, LP3 is... He has to press that button down there. Interesting setup of staying up here. And Bam has to turn this wheel by himself. And they're doing this in a specific order in order to set their spawn point in a favorable position.
There we go.
Is this
One
the
last
last
turn
one?
here.
Why is he
Yep.
not activating?
Push it, Bam. Push it. There we go.
Yeah, and then May's gonna push, and then they're resetting. So now they're both together again, and they're able to finish the last pipe as a team.
Oh, I get it. The lighthouse is
Push it real good. Played the game casually with a mate. Gonna have to get him to speedrun this with me. Absolutely, Polyduck. This game is a fantastic game to speedrun. If you join the ITT Speedruns Discord, there's a lot of resources and people available to help you out. I'll be sure to link that near the in chat near the end of the run too for anybody that's interested. Yeah, so this is the... I don't even necessarily want to call it a fight, but this is like the Lenny fight, where we go to the ice, we grab onto the wrench, and we have to fix all of these gaps in the pipe here. We want to screw the bolts back in, but oh boy, Lenny is right up Main Street here. Oh, he
what?
did get LP3. That's okay. That is super scuffed that he got LP3 there.
I felt
should've-
like yeah. I felt like he was good. Like he shouldn't have been hit right there.
Lenny's spawns are always a little bit finicky. He definitely, usually he'll be in around the same position depending on when you get here and on the cycle. But as soon as he hears sound of you finishing one of these bolts, he'll immediately 180 and try and come after you because he's an anglerfish, so he's blind. He goes off of his light. Ooh.
Not again.
Lenny's going to attack again, but they did well to avoid him there. Good job. Sometimes you're able to manipulate where Lenny goes and you're able to like get over top of him, but they did very well there. And now all you have to do with this last one is get it, and as soon as you hear that audio cue of getting the wrench on there, you can reset from checkpoint, and you head on there.
Yeah, that's the last pipe. It's actually interesting how that last turn, like how that actually works, because the reason that you don't have to turn the last bolt is because when you restart checkpoint, you put into the middle, and because you're not near the range anymore, everything gets unloaded, and unloading the range auto completes it. So it's kind of step by step what's actually going on there with one reset checkpoint.
Basically, we're just trying to fuel the machinery and the generators to repower the lighthouse so that we can get up to the top of it and activate it and head to the next part, which is my favorite part of this entire game. Slippery slopes. Holy, I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, so normally you would go down this hill, and we're actually going up the hill at first.
Oh, and Bam gets it first try.
LP3 was trying the new route.
Yeah, there's multiple ways to begin this here. You can either run into the corner of the wall there, you can run into the post on the front side, you can run into a wall over on the left, but the aim of the game is to get out of bounds here and end up where Bam is so that you can head towards the end of the level and slide down the hill. And there's a lot of cool spots. Oh, LP3 should have had that there. That's unfortunate. This is definitely not an easy strat getting onto the top here. There was a fabled time in our 1v1 race tournament where myself and Iron both were having struggles getting up this first beginning part here. So I actually set out to find a backup, another backup that worked for me, so that I didn't have to deal with that.
Yeah, and the rough part about this is that they have to get to the end together. So this is one of the checkpoints that you have to trigger both. So there's no real benefit of Bam being so far in front. It all depends on LP3 speed right now.
It does take two.
It does take two. Well, it sometimes takes two.
Yeah, no, that's the interesting part about this game, and I think the beauty is that it allows for certain areas where, like, if one teammate's having an off moment, the other teammate can carry a little bit, but sometimes you both just have to pull together and finish off strong in certain spots. But
yeah, you see a Bam just dropping, landing on nothing. It's all just invisible.
is it possible to help each other? Is there interaction to boost each other's jumps? Not inherently. There is a magnet hopping tech that exists in this chapter specifically that we will see shortly at the end of the slippery slope section here. But as far as boosting each other's general jumps and stuff like that in the game, those kind of techs are few and far between.
Right here, you just have to...
Will we see a glint skip? I believe we will. Sorry, I cut you off there.
Yeah, so in this part, there's nothing you can do to help the other person. There's nothing to put down or whatever.
So yes, coming up, Cam in chat asked about glint skip. One of our fellow runners and my partner Glint found a way to cut a corner on a certain section of this and grab a tusk early that you would grind upon. But and I believe that Bam goes for this in this. There was another way found where you could skip doing that. LP3 is going to go for it. My apologies. Almost, very close. That's an extremely difficult trick because you have to get far enough up the tusk that it triggers that you can grab it. But a very good effort for him there. That is not an easy trick.
Yeah, right now he's just gonna wait for Bam to hit another loading zone, so that he can suicide and spawn further up ahead.
And there he goes, and he'll get the death warp to catch up to Bam. You know, glint skip there is actually like such a difficult trick that they actually had Glint find a way to get past it with glint skip skip. Now we head into the section where we'll see the magnet hopping come into effect. So, would you like to explain the magnet hopping, Iron?
So what you can do is, right now their magnets got an upgrade. It happened in the cutscene that we just skipped. But now they're actually able to grab onto the other player instead of just objects in the world. And by doing that, they're able to skip a couple puzzle bits. So right here, just grabbing onto each other. And now one of them is gonna slide jump, the other is gonna grab on and jump to the next bit. In a perfect case, the first person would grab on as well and just make it over on the first try without dying, but a death is no problem at all.
It's very similar to the Mei clone boost tech where she regains her jumps. When you do the looks like a Yoshi sacrifice glitch.
Yeah, it does.
That's a good one. Yeah, it's very similar to the Mei clone thing where when you do the magnet connection, you do reset some of your jumps and dashes if you mash coming out of it. And so that's how Cody was able to jump off of Mei and get some of those dashes to go across. So yeah, so Yoshi sacrifice. And once you get into the end there, you reset checkpoint to go through to the next part, and that is the end of Snow Globe.
Yeah, and then the next chapter is going to be Garden, which is probably one of the hardest chapters to do. A lot of hard out of bounds, a lot of stuff that Mei only can do. Or is at least faster.
Looks quite ugly.
Yeah. Whatever
Indeed,
it
this is
is,
again
we need to get rid of
unfortunate. The unfortunate thing for Cody players is that some of the Mei powers in this game are broken as far as movement tech. So
Yeah. So right now their magnets are gone, but they got new powers instead. Cody is able to grab stuff with his with a leaf on his head, and Mei got a scythe, and she's able to water stuff with her hose. But the most important part is the scythe. It gives a lot of speed, and you're able to go up slopes very easily.
And essentially, so what they're performing right now is a series called Burrower Skip Skip. So what they're doing is they're going around and they're checkpoint hunting, as we've seen throughout the game, where they're trying to get all the checkpoints such that the end of the level will load. And the main antagonist in this early section of Garden is the Burrower. It's an infected creature that goes through the ground. And what they're doing is they're gathering checkpoints. They're going back inbound slightly. Oh, actually, that's right. They are going to go through this way. So there's a few different ways. You can either jump down inside, or you can land on the wall there and go back up out of bounds. They're going to do this wall climb here, which, oh, wow. Are they going to, let's go. That's actually a very difficult wall climb to try and fit into those cracks in the wall. And all you do is jump, jump, dash in, and then you reset it again. So kudos to these runners for getting that. That was actually fantastic that they got that first try. And
Yeah, so
down there... Sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
So what, they just went inbounds and out of bounds. Oh no, bam. Uh-oh.
I think he might be able to get out of this.
I honestly don't know.
I don't know if I... There should be a backup to this if he works his way further back. Yep, there he goes.
I think he has it, yeah. Okay, so they just went inbounds and out of bounds just like 4 times in half a minute. It's actually crazy how easy it is to get out of bounds in this section.
Oh, he may
Yes.
actually need to jump into the pot here. Oh, there we go. He did get the corner of it. Perfect. So yeah, if you fall off the back there, then yes, that is a very difficult backup to get because there's a lot of weird terrain that you can interact with, but he was able to interact and get out over the pot there. So good on him for getting out of there. So sorry, what were you were going on before Bam got stuck and had to do the backup?
Oh yeah, just that they went inbounds and out of bounds so easily and so often in that one section. It's actually crazy. Because right here we're 10 seconds inside the level and we're just going out of bounds again.
Thank you for helping me out.
It's actually quite
We're
rewarding.
we're actually skipping quite a big portion of this game with this out of bounds.
I just
Oh no,
wanna
is LP3 stuck?
shred anything in my
He's
way.
able to get out of there. I believe you have to jump up to the left to get out of there.
You should be able to.
The scythe should help too. Mei has a very interesting tech with her scythe power in this area.
I got it.
And ace
Yeah, he's
free. Let's go.
Yeah, so
Camera
we're
isn't-
we're skipping the entire section with the spiders by doing this. So we're not even gonna see the spiders once. We just go out of bounds before we get to them, and we go back inbounds after they're gone again. Which is a very good thing, because that spider section is very slow. There's no movement tech at all, because you're just stuck on spiders.
And as you'll see, LP3 on Mei's side is doing some of the scythe tech where it is FPS dependent. So the more frames you have as you do those scythes up some of the walls, it'll boost Mei up the sides of the walls. And that tech is used in a few different places in this run that gives Mei the advantage over Cody in full games. But in the cases of 1v1 races and stuff like that, the powers are banned. So you do both just have to do the natural movement tech to go through. But in the case of full game runs, Mei is allowed to wreak havoc with her powers.
Big oyster from both.
Well, that makes sense. He killed the spider on the floor some time ago. Oh no, you're not wrong, Kryptonym. Yeah, the carcass is actually still chilling over there beside the water bottle.
Oh god. Yeah, so in this part, we're basically under invisible water, I think. It's very unclear where we are right now. Normally, you just chill on the spiders in this section. But we're just making our way through.
And so Cody here has to try and jump up and get a death warp up top, whereas LP3 was just able to use the scythe tech.
Yeah, I should have this death warp. So death is intentional, and now the enemies spawn, and now we're able to restart checkpoints and just be back inbounds.
Oh, almost. When these huge bulb guys come out of the ground, you can grab them fairly quickly, but it is very finicky on the aim on how you get Cody's leaf to actually grab onto them. But essentially the name of the game here is to just grab these guys as quick as possible, pull them down, have May scythe them to death, and then get on to the next area.
Bam is being bullied by the little ones right now.
Oh, and LP3 has only 2 health bars left after that. Now here May is gonna water the flower, and Bam is gonna do whatever he can to protect LP3 as he waters. Just keep the ads off of him. Nothing too spectacular. But as soon as the camera switches a little bit, you see there it filled a little bit more on May's side. Now we know that it's full. They can go across. Cody can grab and pull it down, and then May joins and scythes out the bulb, and we'll finish weed whacking. No, ads like additionals, the Ancient Angel. Specifically ads.
Right, and then we are into trespassing, which is a giant section where you have to dodge a lot of moles by not waking them up. But we are going to see a couple moles, but not from the correct side. Oof, LP3 almost getting it.
There's a few different ways that you can navigate trespassing. This is another example of one of those sections where only one player has to make it to the end in order for both to get there. And there's a few different strategies that you can see employed. But I definitely think that's the beauty of a game like It Takes Two in the co-op sense, is that depending on what strategies players are comfortable with or what they want to partake in a particular run, there is opportunities for some players to carry through certain sections or just be able to partake in something, and LP3 just going to patiently wait and save the frames for Bam as he heads through this section.
Yeah, in the middle of the screen you actually see a noise meter, so Bam has to be careful that he doesn't make too much noise, because if that meter is full and you make one more sound, then it's an instant game over and they have to start all over again. So he has to be wary of that.
Because traditionally what we would be seeing right now if you were inbounds or playing casually is you'd see a bunch of sleeping moles that you'd be tiptoeing past. And so that's the stealth check mechanic for this game to see... Oh, yeah, you're good, Bam. There we go. So yeah, very good to get through the stealth check section of the game. So now that stealth check bar won't be seen anymore, so all he's going to do is dash over towards Molebutt. You see him jiggling and wiggling there. And then he's going to navigate over top here across some of the terrain.
Normally this would be an escape section where you just have to keep running away from the moles. There are actually a lot of top-down movements normally here, which is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Another one of those sections where the... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, there's just, again, a lot of collision where there's pretty much no need for it normally, but we make good use of it.
Indeed. There's a few more May scythe techs as well that exist within that section that give May the advantage of just being able to boost around and cut certain walls, but Cody definitely no slouch himself as he goes through there. You can take advantage of the oysters and all of that are universal for the different players. As well, there can be some confusion too with May's camera as you just see it clipping over, where when May's doing this section, I'm not sure, Iron, if you know exactly what causes it, where sometimes May's camera will go wonky through here.
I have no idea what causes it. I just know that if one player gets to this point, most of the time the other player's camera always flips over as well, and it's just weirdness all around. Because we can actually, normally this is a 2D section, so you're only allowed to move left and right. But the way we got there, we are able to move in 3D. So you're actually able to fall off as well. So it's actually getting harder the way we do it.
I actually hadn't seen your question there, Crypto, but yes, that does answer your question about the scythe, because there is a few movement techs. And now it's time for Frog Pond, where me and Cody get to go on a wondrous journey on the backs of these frogs through the garden.
No, wait, I didn't plant that. I'm here to get rid of it.
Oh, LP3 falls through one of the cracks in the bridge there, but that's okay.
Unfortunate death.
Yeah, the main movement tech with these frogs is definitely just is that an SMO reference? You'll never know. But no, one of the main movement techs with these frogs is just timing the jumps, because similar to how you can do the chain slides and you carry momentum through slide jumps, if you jump very quickly with these frogs, you can time it right that you keep on going very quick, and they can either run or they can jump, and it's been found that just jumping with them takes you farther faster than running with the frogs.
Yeah, jumping is a lot faster.
Good, thank you. It's more comfortable than I imagined.
Really all that happens here is just casually jumping across and making sure that the fountains fill out the next spot, because obviously the purple corruption is going to be poisonous to May and Cody and the frogs, so but water does clear it away, or at least for a time being. Very Super Mario Sunshine-esque in that regard.
I don't like it. It's a sophisticated color. Yeah. That stuff is.
Now their objective here is going to be to try and clean out, again, one of the bulbs that's at the very top of this kind of spiny, weeded out tower here. And so it's going to take a combination of the players filling the bulbs along the way. As we see now, Cody is able to get around on his frog.
I'll take the frog. See what you can find inside.
And then eventually here, now that we're at the top, we're going to have to see if Bam can get this. He's going to attempt to grab and pull that, and then pull that out. There he goes. He gets it. Very well done.
Yeah, because Cody's actually locked into place. He cannot move during this cutscene, but May is able to move. It saves a couple seconds. And now the garden is pretty again. No more corruption.
Yes. We're cleaning it all out.
Yes, we're making progress against the infection.
Garden's looking vibrant.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot what it was like.
Now it's just skating along these vines, and again, working our way towards the end, watching more of the corruption fade as we've gotten rid of a lot of the affliction, as it were, as is aptly named the subchapter that we're heading towards.
Get out of here, purple crap.
Your garden is beautiful.
Right here is actually a very weird restart checkpoint, because that you get a saving, but then if you restart, you get put at the end of that section. So you actually skip like 30 seconds of walking just by restarting once.
That one looks
We don't ask questions around here. We just accept the gifts that Hazelight has given us, the devs of this fantastic
Oh
game.
yeah, for sure.
You're doing great as well.
And Bam does well to avoid a very dangerous potential soft lock there.
Yeah, that soft lock is really weird.
I think I'm the only player in the history of running this game that's achieved that soft lock, and one of our verifiers actually made a meme video about it just to tease me for getting into it, where you can grab that ledge that he jumped over and you can get stuck there for all of eternity.
Yeah, it's really weird because that's one of the spots that you could easily encounter in your casual playthrough. Like it's just in a normal place, but I guess they didn't find that during development.
Like, I guess I'm just special in that regard.
Yeah, so in this section they actually skipped one of these flower beds, which was all the way at the bottom. They were able to slide jump and grab a rail to get up here. And now they just have to do the 2 sides in order to complete this level.
Much similar to what we saw before with the water clearing out the corruption that was in that section with the frogs. It's happening again in the flower beds here. So LP3 going to use May's water ability to clear out the flower bed so that Bam, playing as Cody, can go through and fill up the flower bed. And then, of course, obviously the monsters don't like that, so they're going to come out here. They're going to try and counterattack all of this. The name of the game here is to kill enough of the monsters such that the tree guys start spawning in one location, and you'll know at that point that it's time for Cody to head back to the other side and finish killing his bulb that came out, that you saw him take a few whacks at before coming over here.
Now for the infection.
Are they actually going to switch it up?
Oh, they are going
Maybe
to
for the
swap
other
it
side.
up. All right.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. They both have the same health. They just need to be sure that they kill them at the same time. Because it skips an unskippable cutscene.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds weird, but that is the case.
If you don't give us the option to skip it, we'll figure it out for you.
Scared to do the honors, mate?
Ready as you are.
Just take out that one last bulb, and now we're heading into the Joy boss
Longest-
fight.
Yeah, but it gives us no joy.
Yeah. One of the
This-
funniest quotes I have of this section from earlier today in a run that I did with Glint, we had Hyper and Bites commentating it, was, Hyper's like, this section's probably give or take about 8 minutes. Probably take.
Oh, yeah. This is just a 8-minute boss fight where there are no skips at all. And it's really rough.
And so basically Cody is going to get turned into a series of fruits and vegetables and have to roll across the ground and take out these little acid spitter towers that pop out. May obviously using her water power to clear out all of it because Cody cannot dash through the corruption. He needs enough of it cleared out of the way so that he can dash and actually do damage to those towers.
Yeah, because May actually is not able to damage them at all. Her scythe is not strong enough.
Yeah, take that, May. You and all your movement tech.
Yeah, so this was a damage phase, and then now there's just a section where they have to dodge for a while.
Good job, man.
And we're gonna get this 3 times.
There is a unfortunate death off the start, but there is actually another one of those safe spots, and I think Bam is going to go for it here.
He is
Where-
trying to, yeah. I don't know if he has it. I think he's too far forward, to be honest.
He might be too far out, but we're going to find out. Yes, he's a little bit too far forward, but that's okay.
There's no real setup for it. You just kind of have to hope that you get it.
Yeah, this would be a good time for any announcement plugs.
Yeah, good to know. Just to all viewers, you can still donate at the website. If you do right now, still there's the prizes for the T-shirt and later the Mario 2 pearls. Also, we still have some incentives for the Primal Light. So it's going to be a low percent, and the Mario Kart character bit war later.
Who is winning in the
Fantastic.
Mario Kart? I'm very curious. Who is the current character that's winning?
There's no one really. They're tied up right now
Okay.
Okay.
between.
I'll check back in on that at some point. So here we are back into it again. Much more of the same. Cody is a fry. I should mention that that there
he say
is. I don't know. He still has an opportunity to. So right now, actually, the two runners, Bam and LP3, watch for Cody to say the voice line "French fried" as he's attacking some of these towers and the ads. And if he says that line, they're going to be donating $10. I don't know if he said it though. I don't know if he said it though.
I don't think he did.
Back in for Joy. I think I'm getting through to her.
That is I think that's LP3 and Bam's favorite line in this entire game.
It is, for sure.
Trying to help you.
Yeah, so Basically, the main skips in this boss fight up to this point are just anytime you finish one of these damage phases, except for the very last one, as soon as you kill the corruption piece, you can reset checkpoint, and it skips a cutscene that leads to the setup here.
Yeah.
I believe, what is it, Iron? There's like a $145 bounty on finding a skip for this boss fight right now.
Something like that. But I personally, I don't see it happening. It's just, it's so big, and yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I'd like to see, because it just, to me, there seems like there's got to be something, like with how we were able to take out the toolbox in Shed. There's got to be some way. Like,
yeah, true. We will keep looking.
So here in this case, again, it's just jumping back and forth between the plates as the bulbs smash down into them. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the order in which they hit them does not change. It is the same every time.
Yeah, it's always the same.
So basically all you have to do is just jump back and forth between the middle plate and the side plates, and you'll get through this section without any issue. And yeah. There's been lots of thought and process trying to go in to figure out how to skip some of these phases, because this is definitely one of the longest sections of the run that we could save time in right now if we found a skip for it. But nevertheless, we will persevere, and I'm sure we will figure it out. And clean by them to get through that section. And they get the synchronized diving slow-mo.
After this, we have the final damage phase.
Now Cody is a lime.
The faces on Cody's fruit. So dumb.
So good. It's so good. Yeah, and Cody doesn't really have to take out any of the extra ads throughout this, because May can just continue to move around and dodge them, but it is just a common courtesy to your speedrunning partner that in between, as you take out these towers, that you take out some of the ads, take a little bit of the aggro off. The one problem that the ads do face, though, is that one of your quickest movement techs through this section, through hitting the different towers, is that dash. But if those little tree guys exist, then Cody will try and lock on and dash towards them, so that can definitely mess up your line a little bit.
Yeah, they can be very annoying if they're just grouped around you, because you don't really have that much control over where you're targeting. Like, you could be looking one way, but the game is like, nah, you're gonna dash this way now. Oh, May losing damage.
Oh, it's just
the ads are actually,
yeah.
Oh wow. So that's what I mean. He tries to target the head of Joy, but he just gets screwed over by the ads. They just want aggro from him.
Ads gonna ads.
Yeah.
And now we are into our final chapter of the game. This is Attic. This chapter has actually been completely ripped apart by minigame warps and any percent. The oob route is about 20 minutes. The any percent route is like 6.
Yeah, so right now you're actually gonna see the chapter. Normally we skip everything.
Normally we absolutely eviscerate it.
Yeah.
The symbol superhero. That's also a good line.
Yeah. They actually have new powers right here. So Cody has this symbol which you can throw like a discus. And then May has her voice. So she's able to either shout like that, or she's able to sing to activate some stuff. Singing is right here, for instance.
And so one of the things I'll have to be careful of too is, as they're going through this, May obviously can't sing infinitely. She has to rest her voice periodically, so she has that bar that drains as she sings. So there'll be a few sections, especially in some of the snake taming fights, where they're going to have to be careful to make sure they get through it without running out of voice in one cycle. Oh,
Okay.
I thought Bam had saved that there. Nonetheless, and they're off. This is also a very aesthetically pleasing chapter. Like, I think the level design in here and all the different stuff that goes into it is very cool.
And sound design. Because this entire chapter is all about music and singing.
Indeed.
We're just chilling inside of a jukebox right now.
Yeah, you can tell you got those groovy tunes in the background.
Hell yeah.
And so again here, we're going to see lots of use of the slide jump, allowing for players to get access to different places that they wouldn't normally be able to. And LP3 fell there, but as we see with the reset checkpoint, a lot of times there's a lot of very forgiving ones where as long as one of the runners makes it there, it'll be okay.
You have a little bit of tech right here. So the game wants you to destroy all the circuits, but we are able to platform.
Oh, let's go, Bam!
Oh yeah,
let's go. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh, it's okay. There we go.
Okay.
He soft locked a little bit there and it skidded him over to the side, but still getting to that part, that's not easy to do. That's a very cool tech to get across that section and avoid having to blow up the entire circuit board.
Yeah. Because otherwise you have to zigzag all the way through and that does take off a very long time. This room is Cody only, because May doesn't have to do anything.
And May just gets to chill and relax. Lots of slide jumps here around the outside here, so typically areas that wouldn't be able to be accessed if not for the slide jump tech. And I'll just cut the cord here and reset from checkpoint. Now we're into the rock and roll section of this contest. Again, May singing allowing them to be able to go up there. Gonna take advantage of those boosts from the drums to be able to get access to the higher places here. Use May singing, grab onto the guitar, and place the cassette decks down. And we're into... Uh-oh. The big snake boss rush. Oh no, I lied. Oh! Oh, I was ahead of myself because it's a similar starting to it. That's my bad. This is what they get for bringing an 80% runner over to commentate their Uber run.
Yeah, this section is just a lot of cooperation. May has to do platforming only. Oh,
well
almost
done to hold on to the edge.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is trippy. I see you on a monitor.
Keep your eyes on those knobs.
This is another one of those examples of just cool looking game design and some of the stuff that went into these little mini cooperative sections in this game.
Yeah, they have to dodge the static at the top and the bottom. And get launched out of the plug, out of the outlet.
And again, use the physics balance to get them through. Slide jumps coming in handy once again there. Honestly, like, thank goodness for that tool.
Yeah, now we're gonna get to the mics. So now the snakes are coming.
Pika, keep your eye on those knobs. Thank you, May. Very cool. Fair enough. So we get to see snake taming here now, because anytime that May sings near these little snakes, they will expose their core there that Cody can then throw the symbol at.
Yeah, and they become relaxed. So normally they attack unless you sing. They're just enchanted by your singing.
Well done there to hit both of them to hit that slide jump there to get across there. Normally you'd have to platform around to get to that part, but very clean through this snake section here.
Holy. Please don't stop me. Please.
Pika, keep your eyes on those knobs. Thank you, May. Very cool. And this is, again, that one section where they're going to try and keep the singing going throughout the entire time. Well done. They were able to keep May singing alive there enough to tame that final snake too, so that they could pull the lever. And now, yes, as Pika said, it's spoilers. Now it's time for the big snake boss rush.
There is a death warp right in this corner. I think they go for it.
I believe they were going to try it at least once, is what I heard them talking about earlier.
Right here. Where they're jumping off to the side, and then Bti, what is happening? Are they disconnecting?
No, he might have got it.
Oh, no, they didn't.
Unfortunately. No, that's a very difficult death warp. So what LP3 is able to do there by running in a circle is he's able to stall the progression of the camera and the level, so that Bam has time with Cody to jump out of bounds and try to get a death warp further ahead in this boss rush course that allows them to skip a significant portion of it. But unfortunately doesn't get it there, but then they just do the rest of the boss rush as per normal, which is A-okay. I believe it gets them to here.
Yeah, I think so too.
But it is extremely difficult, and it's very similar to UFO Skip, which happens back in Spaced Out, which we unfortunately didn't get to see this run, but some very cool, completely blind out-of-bounds tricks that the runners can do in this game.
I'm having my breathing thing.
He's getting closer!
I swear this must be that footstop.
I think we're the ones who killed those snakes!
And again, just going to do well to get as much speed as they can. Frog jumping off of these things. Another movement tech I'm not sure if we ever mentioned was the frog jump, which is A and X, or X and square, depending on if you're using an Xbox or a...
Jump and dash. Just jump.
Oh, yes. Fair enough, yeah. I forget about keyboard mouse players, me and B being a controller player. But yes, if you jump and dash at the same time, whatever those inputs may be, you do like a little bit of a long jump, which has been colloquially called a frog jump. It can allow you to cover some more distance there. And sometimes if you do that while interacting with rails, it's a little bit interesting. It allows you to gain a little bit of speed.
It's very fast, yeah.
Well done to get the combination on the mixing boards there to open up our next section here.
And they will be jumping down this slope as well, because they get so much more speed.
Very similar to some of those chain slides you would see back in Snow Globe as they were heading down slippery slopes.
Can I get some light here, please?
I got you covered, Cody! Keep going!
Now in this section, obviously, May is going to do whatever she can to cover Cody with light, as Cody will take damage anytime he is in the darkness. However, May also does need to take time to power some of the fixtures there to have the level continue to generate for Cody. Cody does regenerate health throughout parts of this, so just going fast and getting to the end is typically okay for Bam and Cody here, and there we go. Very clean to the end there.
It's pretty rare to get a deathless run through there.
You know, like I said, all in all, their PB is a 217, and depending on how things go here, I could see them beating their PB. Obviously, the actual timing in the game uses a load remover, not just real time, so they would probably just have to compare it against the real time of their PB to see how they do, but I could see this beating it. It's been a very clean run for these two.
I bet. Hey, is that your old piano?
Even more instruments.
Ah, yes, we
Violin.
love the piano.
Violin and piano.
Did you ever play recorder in school growing up, Iron?
I didn't.
Oh man, maybe that was just something. Maybe that was something they just did in North America, because I remember everybody did the recorder in elementary school.
Looks like some kind of accordion.
Angry accordion.
Oh god, that hard instrument. Yeah, Cam knows.
Follow me.
Lead the way.
No, I've always played guitar.
Nice. Again, one of these RCPs. Only had flutes in school for Cryptonym. And then Dory says they do it in Belgium too, Jan. Alright, good to know. You know, I'm from Canada. Iron is from the Netherlands. So, an international connection here for this game. I'm not sure where Bam is from. I know LP3 is from Canada as well.
Oh, I thought they were both American.
No, LP3 is from Ontario. Netherlands people leave. Come on, Pika. Bam is. I'm assuming that's. Keiko is American. Yeah. Scotland people leave. Oh, come on, everybody. We're all friends here. Yeah, so coming into this section, all they have to do is gather all of these notes so that they're able to open up the door and get access inside where they're going to go in, grab some keys, and be able to further progress through the level here. Big Man's here too! Australia! So I believe it's... Sorry, go ahead.
This is kind of like a Harry Potter section where you have to kill the demons and get the key.
Chase after the golden snitch, as it were.
Yeah, or this Chamber of Secrets, the flying challenge.
Oh yeah. It is RNG, I believe, where the keys go in regards to these little demons. So.
Yeah, and once you grab the key, it gets snatched away by the other demons.
And then once it goes to the air... Oh, he just about got it there.
Yeah, this is, again, complete RNG.
So Cody is now trying to... Oh, just barely. This is an extremely difficult section because there's so many of these little devils. There we go. It's extremely difficult because May basically has to play anti-air defense as Cody goes and grabs it. This is the most cringe RNG. I know. It's honestly, like, this is definitely one of the more punishing RNG sections of Out of Bounds for sure. And again, very similar again, going and gathering all the notes that have spread around the land in order to open the door and once again go in and partake in another joyous section of gathering keys. A little bit of a different mechanic though this time when they go in.
I just got confirmation that our host is from Denmark, so even more global presence.
Love it. Yeah, it's good to see a bunch of the ITT community in chat as well coming out to support. Pika, Big Man, Dory. It's been wonderful to see everybody out here this evening. Cam as well, though he hasn't run the game specifically. He's a good buddy of mine from my hometown, so lots of support. Yeah, they're going to manipulate these clouds here to water the ground and expose certain of these hatches so that they can let the devils out and get the keys from them.
Yeah, they can just spawn kill them, which makes them a lot easier than when they were flying all around.
One of them did have a key there.
Okay, Cody has it.
Nice.
No.
Oh, just at the... These guys are getting them at the goal line. Oh no. There we go. Second key successfully grabbed. Well done. Those pesky devils. And they've constructed the orchestra there. So yeah, as we saw through Garden, Cody's passion was definitely the gardening. May's passion is always was singing, but she definitely lost that passion throughout life as things went south. And so this chapter is all about May rekindling that passion for music and singing, which I think is really cool. Remember we mentioned that Mario Kart reference earlier?
I hope one of them... I actually unironically hope one of them dies, because we get to see... Oh, there it is. Oh fuck. Oh no, they both die. But yeah, you get the the respawn put back on the
yeah,
track.
the Dr. Hakim looking like a Lakitu grabbing them.
Yeah. It's very funny. At the end of this, after Rainbow Road, we actually get another game which is a bit more obscure. We'll get to in a bit. I don't know if you know the game. You know what I'm talking about?
If I know the game, sorry?
Yeah. What, like the reference coming up?
Like
This
in
one.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
this line. So this is a reference to Thumper
Okay.
with the eye that's here. It's
Okay.
gonna be here. Yeah,
Bam
that
was
one.
actually moving so fast there. Yes, I just said Lucky 2. Because well, how do you pronounce it then?
Lakitu.
Lakitu? Okay, so yeah, I just pronounced the key too hard. Lakitu, there you go. I said Lakitu, like a monkey. This looks like Bowser's Castle, House 8284. So all they did there was they were looking for a checkpoint, which then they reset. They get to the... Don't come at me, Cam. And all they do is they get out of bounds there a little bit. They jump down, and now they're going to fall out of bounds here until they can get into this tower here. And once they're inside of it enough, they can ground pound to quickly get to the end, and they'll death warp to the beginning of their next section here. Yeah, so once you're in there, yeah, a little bit of a ground pound at the end there to save a little bit of time. Head onto this platform, and then head up into the Dance Dance Revolution portion of tonight's contest.
Gonna be DJs.
This is exciting.
God, this part bumps so hard. Yeah, there's also actually a voice line in that Rainbow Road section where Cody literally goes, "It's a me, Cody."
Figure out this DJ thing.
Sure, we can make them dance again.
Yeah, so here they have just some quick time events where they have to mash and stuff in order to proceed as quickly as possible.
And once they get through those first two, then they go stand on the platforms, and here we go. And on stream, I always vibe so hard to this section. I freaking love this section.
Right? Very good. Done at the same time. So no time loss.
DJ Cody and MC May.
There we go. Sorry, I'm dancing right now. DJ Cody, MC May. They probably PB here. The real time in their PB is about 2:27. Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Another ballin' voice line. Yeah, so now they suck up all the glow stick people. And they're getting ready to head towards the ending here. So they got this tunnel section here. Now in here, really, the only optimal line through this is just don't get hit.
Did he get hit on the first one? Or was it a bit of lag? Might be lag.
Might have been a little bit of desync there. Yeah, no, basically as you go through this, you'll see there's the boost pads, which do give you speed, but I think there is a cap to how high your speed can go. So as long as you maintain the speed and you don't get hit by the red walls, because they slow you down significantly if you end up running into one of them. Nah, he got hit as soon as you said, don't get hit. Whoops. I jinxed it. I wish I would have seen that. That would have been a fantastic reaction. Commentator's curse, I know. Overall, an extremely clean run through here, though.
Yeah, and we're going to the final section of the game, which is normally a walking simulator, but we found a way to have movement during this final chapter. So if you dash or jump on the first frame that you spawn in, then you're actually able to keep moving as long as you never stand still. Because once you stand still, you are locked into the walking simulator thing.
I believe the strat that they are going to employ here is there's multiple ways you can go about this. You can either do the entire thing as Mei, or you can have Mei do it up until the point where you activate Cody, and then Cody goes to the end doing the exact same technique that you described. So we'll see which one they go for here.
Yeah, so right here, Mei just gets to jump all the way across. Normally, you're very slow in this section. And then we'll see Cody just hanging out. So Bam has to keep frog jumping like this, otherwise he will get stuck in the walking animation as well. Oh, okay, but this
That's
is
okay.
fine.
He's where he needs to be, though, for sure.
Oh yeah, you can just jump to the ends right there.
There you go. Oh, it's Mei! And now, normally, what would be happening here, you can see kind of off in the distance around the soundboard there, you can see them floating in the air. Normally, you'd see them floating towards each other, slowly, anticipatingly ready to kiss.
It's
the final,
time.
penultimate moment.
It's time when the cutscene starts.
Yeah, so as soon as they actually do kiss, and the cutscene goes... Time. 2:23:41, and that's real time, so I think that's going to be their new PB.
It might very well be. Yeah.
Oh, and they're already going to a minigame. What are they doing?
Oh wow!
What? You tell me?
Oh, they're playing Bird Star. Which is Bird Star for the fans, Pog you. I love Bird Star. Oh, just you wait, Crypto. This gets absolutely scuffed. Real fast.
Bring it home.
Yeah, sounds good, Cam. We'll see you in a bit.
No props.
I remember it getting faster than this. Am I crazy?
Don't know. Oh, there it is.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello!
Pretty good, Cody.
We can fill with stuff? Okay, I got you. Bam. Yeah, you know what to do.
Oh, fill with stuff. Oh. Do you want to show like Big May or?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for.
Oh, we're gonna go for Big May.
Yeah, let's do Big May first.
Where's Big May at?
The
Grand finale.
Right before
Yeah,
the
the
fight.
fighting.
And then just chapter select to something else.
Great thing is we can use this lovely dev menu, and this has all of the checkpoints that we can teleport to.
I saw Dory in chat. That wasn't PB. It was really close.
Oh no?
Yeah,
Okay.
we PB'd yesterday.
Yeah.
That was, but even though that wasn't a PB, that is still
It
a
would've-
fantastic run.
Yeah.
For a marathon, for sure.
It would have PB'd if it wasn't for the Devils giving Bam the business near the end.
Yeah.
That was so dumb.
We lost a minute there. Alright, so there's something cool you can do here that
And,
has absolutely no use in
The
speedrun.
escape, I
Right.
think. Glider. House reveal. Yeah, that's it. House reveal.
Oh yeah, I know that one well. Don't worry. All right.
Just
Where
chapter
should we...
select to anything else.
Oh right, we're still now we are on 20-second delay. Forgot about
yeah.
that.
Yay, Big May. Do you want to go do
Big bottle.
cannon misfire?
What?
Cannon misfire.
Oh yeah.
I
That
forget
was
how
funny,
to
too.
do it.
I can't... I'm stuck.
So right now, what they did is a
here we
glitch
can,
we call Big May, where if you leave during the
I'm not
during the
touching
Mortal
anything.
Kombat fight, May is just permanently bigger. Her model
say
is
that.
just
So how do you do cannon misfire?
I don't know actually.
I forget how to do it. It's like
Do you know how to do the
Jump in.
the
I'll shoot
proxy
you and you
in.
cancel.
Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Is that it? No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think you have to restart checkpoint while you're in the cannon.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Get in the cannon.
Big May.
Oh my god.
No. Oh, wait, then I get in.
Hey. Thanks for the GGs, AJ. Now, you guys, there's a lot of people came out and watched. We had Big Man, AJ, Dory, Pika. Lots of
Get
folks
in-
were here.
LP3, get in the cannon.
I'm trying. I really am. it
Okay,
disappeared
maybe
from
it's
the
the other
animation.
way because it's going. Maybe I had to. So this time I get in the cannon.
Yeah.
I restart checkpoint.
Ooh. AJ says basement, pause champ.
Oh, true. Yeah, you get
We
in.
could do that. I pressed it to get in, but I'm not in it.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe Big May just can't do it.
Oh,
You
Can't-
were in it,
Wait,
but
wait,
cannon
did you
just-
shoot?
the cannon just glitched out.
Wait, you shot the cannon, but nothing
Let's go.
happened.
I'm in the cannon now.
there we go.
Oh no.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, the game doesn't
going
really
on an
like this one.
adventure.
Whoop.
Ow. You didn't know this one, Jan?
No, I had not seen this one before. I'm on a bit of a delay now because you guys are back over here, but
Right round, baby, right
Yeah.
round.
Okay, yeah, we can show up basement.
Yeah. We could also do the proxy, but Ironhead would have to guide me.
I can guide you.
Let's
Yeah, I don't know
do-
exactly where it is.
Which does the basement start with?
Oh wait, but we're on. Wait, show your screen, Bamford. Because that
Oh yeah,
talks
I
easily.
can share my screen for you guys.
Yeah, when we submitted this originally, we had a way worse time. So that's why we smoked our estimate.
You could go to ice race.
my
Then.
god, May is planking right now.
Go to the
It's
ice.
the
race.
funniest shit, dude. I love it.
Oops. And I can't really get out of the menu. Oh god, it's really bad. There we go.
So what are you guys most proud about with that run? If there any moment of that run that stuck out for you guys that you're pretty proud?
Greatest show was cracked.
Great.
It
was. It was.
That was incredible for us.
We were popping off for you.
I'm
It's
trying
at
to
the
think.
lake,
We're
Bam.
in the lake, yeah.
And then, yeah, ice race.
What else was really good in that run, Dan?
I don't know. Oh yeah, so I was gonna go for Mortal Wombat Skip,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just forgot.
Oh, you forgot.
Yeah, we figured chat thought we weren't gonna go for it, but
Yeah,
Bam
but-
literally stared at it and was like, "Oh, there it is."
Go out of bounds with the rail.
Huh?
A rail over here.
Oh, okay. Oh, I haven't done this in a while.
Oh wait, is there some way I
And
is there
then-
some way I
then
can not be on a delay
Go a
here?
bit more right.
I'm streaming to the Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, just jump over out of bounds to the left here.
Okay.
In the middle, yeah. Okay. Just jump down into the water. Oh, you both missed it. Oh my god. Oh,
Let's go.
did you get it? No, reset. to
Gamers.
the-
I'd like to point out, I'm still
Oh
Big
my.
May, so I'm blaming it on that.
Okay, a bit more to the right, I think, next time.
I'm blaming it on. I don't normally do this one.
I don't either. I don't do the rail strat. I just do the proxy for no reason, even though it doesn't save time.
Oh, actually, hey, can one of you turn around and try and do wall climb for a second?
Yeah, I got you. Am I still
Because
Big May? 'Cause that'd be
we
funny.
did talk about it. Oh god, are you still Big May? Oh
I'm
no.
still Big May. Let's go.
So this right here is what we were talking about during the run, where you can do a slide jump and then jump dash towards the wall.
I'm stuck.
Are you
Alright.
stuck?
Stuck
Oh no.
crouching.
But anyways,
over
that
here.
there that he just looked at was
Bit
the
more left. Bam, back,
More left?
left. Yeah. Just jump through somewhere here.
yeah, that wall that May is looking at right now is the immortal Bti Wall Climb,
Okay.
where you can get a
Go back.
very finicky reset on
Okay.
the wall and end up on the top.
Swim towards May, so where her marker is.
Yeah.
And swim up.
Yeah, don't worry, Dory.
Way
I'll
higher.
stand here for a while so the delay meets up.
Okay, and then just swim through there and keep left. because the water is only left.
Okay.
Stay as high as possible.
Yeah.
And then the corner is in the back there.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, Dory. I didn't know you guys were still delayed. Delayed.
Yeah. Okay, but okay, you got it. Okay, so now just really slowly. What's your FPS at?
93 right now. 100.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Just look into that corner and go to the dark side to the left.
This one.
Just swim in there. Just slowly.
Do I have to be underwater?
No, this is fine. This is good. Just get in
Let's
there.
go.
Oh my god. Absolutely
You can't
center.
ground pound out of this too.
No, you're just
Oh
gonna
yeah, 'cause
fall
you,
for
you
a
didn't
bit.
jump.
But yeah, this is probably the last thing that we can show off right now.
Other than basement.
If we want to show that off
Yeah.
really quick, just like a quick little thing.
Yeah. Am I still gonna be big man in basement? That's funny.
That would be
No, it
awesome.
doesn't work.
It's like one half of the candy box is just bigger than the other.
Go to the boss is fine.
Yeah, we'll just go to the boss. We don't have that much time.
I do actually have to run because I was available until 5 a.m. my time, so
Fair enough.
I will have to bid you folks adieu. But thank you very much for having me on to commentate this stream. Iron, it was a pleasure working with you for the first time commentating.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for coming and commentating for us.
Absolutely. GG's on the run. It's absolutely, like, that was an absolutely cracked run. It may not have been your PB, but that's still all around a very solid Uber run.
Yeah.
So what you're seeing right now is a scrapped alternate ending of the game. So instead of attic, we could have had this
The basement.
monstrosity.
This
All right.
monstrosity is one word for
We'll
it.
see you later, chat. Thank you very much for having me. And please join the ITT Speedrunning Discord if you want to learn more about the game. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you folks around soon.
Have a good day. Jan.
Peace.
I forgot we had to dodge the fire, so I just sort of ran into it.
Yeah. So May controls the left half, Cody controls the right half, and you have to work together. And it's awful. Go right. Where are you going?
It was trolling. We do a little bit of trolling.
Okay, we have to make it to that item right there. I don't really know what we do to it, but we have to do something with our link spheres.
Trigger.
Will
Too
it
late.
protect us? Yes.
Are you holding the trigger?
Now I am.
Okay. And then use the right stick to put your dot on it.
Yeah, this is
It won't go
pretty
on
much
it.
what we wanted to show off.
No, it is now. There we go.
Yeah, whatever. That's basement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
basically
basement.
you just
Check
keep
it out.
working your way up. And that's not Rose.
All right, that's about all we can show you.
Yep.
Hope you guys enjoyed.
Thank you guys for having us in the marathon. We appreciate it.
And that's about it for us.
Enjoy the rest of the marathon.